längre danssträck.
How did you become a knight?
I paid for it. When Malashov was vacated, I bought that fortress. Well, first I negotiated with King Charles for permission. Then it was entered into the land register as my property, and my house became the Knights of Malashov. There were still some legal requirements surrounding it, but I won't bore you with those. But personally, I'm pleased that in the history of our house, it was me who managed to elevate it to the nobility.
You can simply buy a title? Just like that?
Definitely not just like that. But in a certain manner of speaking, you can, yes. It's not at all such an unusual practice among rich burghers nowadays. In Prague, for example, there used to be the Rokitsan burgher family, and they bought Okorsh. That's a castle 3 times bigger than Malashov. It may also happen that some commoner lends the king a lot of money, and the king doesn't have the coin to pay back the debt. So he resolves it by pledging one of his castles. Nevertheless, the old nobility, such as Vavak von Hradec, don't like it, and they despise us for it. They see us as upstarts without a proper ancient origin. But I think in a few generations, if I ever marry Rosa off, that is, it won't make any difference anymore. We'll be established among the nobility, and all these injustices will be a thing of the past. I pray that my house will endure, and that my descendants will live to see it.
Well, enjoy your well-deserved spurs. What's the political situation in the city? I mean, the politics of support for our side.
All in all, miserable. Bailiff Plymel is also on Sigismund's side, as is his son, who's so corrupt even Vava could envy him. And I tested the waters among the councillors, but it doesn't look good for us at the moment.
Who sits on the city council?
Wenceslas Forsucher, Jerome Naz, Franz Rosenthal, and Andrew Polner. They're from the old and rich burgher families, just like us. Martin tried to negotiate some support from them, but as you may have heard, we didn't manage to win anyone over. They either have their interests connected with Sigismund, like Naz and the others, or they just don't want to commit themselves, so they don't lose their property and status. That's the only thing you can count on them for.
But they don't sit alone on the council. What about the others?
They don't. Then there are the representatives of the guilds. But to be honest, they don't have that much power. At least not for now. Compared to the old houses, the guild masters only quite recently acquired their positions on the council, so they probably won't risk losing them. But you're right that we might find support among them, especially by promising more council seats. The thing is, we're not yet in a position to fulfill such a promise, and they're well aware of that.
And what about Vavak? He sits on the council, and we've got him in our pocket, right?
He does, along with other representatives of the Italian court, and they'll do what he tells them. Except maybe Friedrich Kummel, but that doesn't matter. Vavak is a slimy bastard who'll sink us as soon as he gets the chance. So I'd like to count on him only when absolutely necessary, because as soon as he learns something he could exchange for a pardon from Sigismund for the crimes you've uncovered, he'll use it to untie his hands.
Thank you for filling me in on the local situation.
Well, there wasn't much positive in it. But you're welcome.
And what about the church? Couldn't it be turned around? You can see Sedlet's monastery from the city. The abbot must have some influence, doesn't he?
He does. And his relationship with the city is not the best. First of all, the abbot is burning through his property. The monastery's having financial difficulties, and all it can do is sell off its village properties. And who do you think is buying them up? The Kuttenberg burghers, first and foremost. Then there's a long-standing dispute over the manning of some churches, which goes back as far as I can remember.
Well, then how about promising the abbot support and getting him on our side? Promises cost nothing, right?
Ha ha! I see you're no newcomer to politics. But we hesitated with the abbot, and he decided to throw in his lot with Sigismund. In fact, he's given him accommodation and is wining and dining him.
You're right, Sir Kinsman. It's a pity.
It is. I even wanted to donate them part of my library collection, which they've envied for years, but they can forget about that now.
I'm glad we took care of. They outnumbered us, and they had heavy armor.
If the worst came to the worst. But otherwise, I agree with you. After all,
If I may be so bold.
not long ago, when back then I saw things differently than I do today. I'd been advocating parleying instead of armed resistance. I feared, and rightly so, but I was in the minority. We quarreled a lot. In the end, he told me that even though he wanted to prove the Knights of Malashov didn't win, and that we'd earned when an opportunity arose to strike against the enemy.
What happened next?
More importantly, some French knight appeared from God knows where. He said he was a renowned military leader and a personal friend of King Wenceslas, and that it was his sacred duty to defend the city. I no longer know why or how, but he was appointed commander of the city's defense. One of the first things he did was attack the huge trebuchets that were ruining our fortifications. It seems they were poorly defended, and when the Frenchman was putting together a cavalry unit to counterattack, my Venser joined. Only it was a trap, the oldest and most primitive trick, and our renowned French knight let himself get taken in. Of course, Sigismund, or whoever was in command, didn't leave his precious trebuchets unprotected. He had his own cavalry in reserve. When I learned where Venser had gone, I gathered my men and went to his aid. But when we arrived, it was all over. And there was nothing left for us to do but to collect the bodies of the fallen. Venser among them. So, you heard it. My hardest battle was the one in which I didn't even raise my weapon. But I won't make the same mistake a second time. It won't bring Venser back to me. But I'll defend what he tried to defend to my last breath. Our estates, our honor, and above all, our Rosa. God be with you.
God bless you.
Okay. Oh, is this gone? I should probably actually talk to this guy as well about the new quest. Is this one gone?
found it somewhere?
Nah, it's a girl. But she came out all hairy, like a black lamb.
That can happen. My younger brother was as hairy as Issa when he was born, but the baby will grow out of it soon enough.
God be with you. Keep the peace.
Well, bless you, sir.
Is it normal for a skeleton to sit at the table in this tavern?
Of course! When he orders a bit, it's a long story.
I could use some help with...
If it's one of old Greece's riddles, they always give me a pet. See you later, my friend.
A blessed evening to you.
I don't have anything for...
All right.
Huh?
I apologize.
Let's check why.
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
Good boy.
Okay. So basically, I don't have anything to ask him, I think. Okay, so we wanted this. We want this. So this is. It's actually less. It's only 3 quests, right? Less than I thought.
God bless.
Good day.
Get hired.
Are you hiring?
Us? Always. But don't be fooled. It's hard work. Days spent bent over in the sun. It's not for everybody. But you'll get a few groschen, something to eat, and a place to lay your head.
That sounds good.
I'll tell you tomorrow. For now, go and speak to the custodian, Jerome. He'll tell you what to do. Any questions?
What's in that building in the middle of the vineyard?
Vineyards aren't just vines. They need a place to sort, press, and wash the grapes. And we also need a place to lay our heads. We spend half a year up on this scorching hill after all.
What's the master custodian like?
Jerome? He's my cousin, and he gave me this job. Can't complain about him.
And the others?
I don't know, but I've never heard any complaints. You'll see for yourself soon enough.
What if I'm not up to it?
You have 2 arms and 2 legs. We have a lot of blow-ins, so...
I understand. I'll be going.
All right, run along. Jerome will be waiting.
Don't worry.
I have to say that, because we do, and now you know everything. Farewell, my friend.
Where's this person then? To talk to. Rome.
How are you doing here?
The life of a winemaker is similar to the life of the vine itself. It seems showered with sunshine, but it isn't possible without tenacity and resilience. Here in the vineyard, we wake up and go to sleep with a single thought: how to bring to life a divine miracle, the nectar of wine. For it truly is a miracle. A truly
But,
fine wine, and if we can create such a...
What is your job?
The administration of them, I allot the jobs to the work, but it's not just about people. True, the Sedlets Monastery has...
I'm supposed to report.
Excellent.
Right.
Forgive me, young man. I'm always...
That's great. I was sent to ask what.
You'll start today. Because why wait?
Of course.
Excellent. As our youngest laborer, you will be in charge of the eternal battle against... As soon as you spot one, imagine...
If you hand me a sling.
We hand out slingshots in autumn. Apart from that, you'll sometimes... In it are clippings and bad plants, which you will take to the dung heap behind the winery here, where they're...
All right. That doesn't sound too complicated.
To tell the truth, lad, I therefore suggest you don the vintner's crown.
What's in this?
This is, of course, the grapes must ripen as soon as we put the wine in barrel.
Where can I lay?
I shall take you there right away.
Forgive me.
Truth be told, our time on this earth is... And I'm quite adept at speaking.
I wonder what I'll.
I don't know, lad, and neither do you. Whether it's a plain...
I'll get to.
May God bless you. Here it is, the final resting place of weeds from our vineyard, and a vast haven for flies, the dung heap. This is where you shall bring the sacks, and moreover, after a hard day's toil, you can lay your head down in that hut over there. Questions?
I'm supposed to sleep beside the dung heap.
It's perfectly healthy. Here it is.
I have more.
Ask a... Here it is. The final resting place of weeds from our vineyard, and a vast haven for flies, the dung heap. This is where you shall bring the sacks, and moreover, after a hard day's toil, you can lay your head down in that hut over there. Questions?
Now I know everything, I can get started.
Wonderful, lad. Now, get to work. The vineyard is large and there's plenty of work. You have a kind master, eh?
Oh, this must have been something last night.
Excuse me. God give you health, sir.
Let's bring the 3 sects there, I guess. Yeah, the fucking weed is... Maybe let's try and grab the seeds for them. I have to go in here. Okay. Pretending, always pretending. Actually part of this. Cellar.
This crate smells like sulfur. This could be it. So, we got everything, right? There.
Always welcome here. The taste
Greetings. Do you need...
I'm back, and I've got the mysterious monastery incense. It looks like wood chips soaked in sulfur. It stinks a bit.
They were smoking barrels with this. Sulfur is the stink of hell, and this is a monastery vineyard.
Maybe there's another reason. The miners in Skalitz used to say where there's sulfur, it's easier to breathe. Healthier air.
But it stinks to high hell.
So do many noble delicacies, and they're still delicious.
I suppose you're right. I'll give it a try. I hope it doesn't make my wine weak. Here's your reward. I added a bit more, as we agreed.
I almost forgot. I have the seedlings.
Ah! I'm curious what they'll grow into. You've made me doubly happy, Henry. So, here's a little something on top for you. Farewell. The taste is full and intoxicating. The smell of us.
Okay, so I want to give this a try.
Don't whistle here. Nobody wants to hear it.
Christ, woo! What's up with that?
Slowly. Nice and slow. Quick! Gah!
That looked amazing.
Gah! Whoa!
Hans double-crossed me.
How do you know?
I found out by chance. It wasn't just me that fell for that tale of selling wares for a tidy profit in Germany. He'd take people to taverns, get all friendly with them, then take all their goods and vanish.
How many people are we talking?
I know of at least 3.
Well, you should...
It's already been done. He got caught with stolen goods.
Well, that's good.
I suppose so.
Not everybody's.
I hope you're not. Sorry I mistook you for it.
So, chances are...
Oh, see. That Hans may have been a crook.
you...
Seems that not all...
I'd like to...
Take your pick.
Quick! Quick! Gah! Go! Whoa!
Art of the monsters. What is that? Lovely place.
Quick! Go! Quick! 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 Whoa!
grand. I can just walk in. Nah. So what do we need to do? I'd like to get the seal of dead wine on her. What?
God be with you, brother. Are you taking care of this chapel?
Mortitius is my name, good friend.
Blind.
Though all that is shall one day end. Fame and though my eyes are old and dim.
But slow down. So, you are the blind...
You speak the truth. Will you help me take care of...
You need my help?
Christian bones in the church lie. If the prior should see the disarray, he'll set roaming the earth with a beggar's cane.
Wait a moment. So...
Aye. 'Tis...
Wait, am I...
Fear not. It is no desecration.
What's in it
To help thy neighbour. Arrange the bones in pyramids. Make them nicely stacked. Build one out of Christ, the third then build from arms and legs. Thou shalt not... Thou shalt...
Steal from...
A pretty rhyme, I must admit.
Alright, so I'm supposed to put the bones in 3 piles. Pristine skulls in the front.
As you say, so must it be. But don't forget what lies beneath.
I see. So I should gather the bones in the...
And should any bones remain...
What? I should sweep up the...
Won't be with you. Am I awake or do I dream?
Perfectly normal
Well,
stuff.
it is
Oh my god, 32.
With its empty eye sockets.
My god.